It is our first show of the year 2021. Yes. And we picked a book. Well, we were going to do this one in December, and then it was a really long book. It's Dune. We are doing songs inspired by Dune by Frank Herbert, because you know what? It was supposed to be, the new movie was supposed to be released in December. And not only did we fail to perform our songs in December, but an entire movie failed to be released in the month of December. So I don't feel so bad about the situation of starting 2021 with Dune, which actually January is traditionally with the Bushwick Book Club, as I believe this is true. It is usually a Kurt Vonnegut. Is that right? Yes, that's his name. Yes. It is usually a Kurt Vonnegut book, but both book clubs, both New York and LA, have pushed their Vonnegut to February, or yes, they pushed it to February. So we're doing Dead-Eye Dick, and New York is doing something else. And maybe we actually have the founder of the Bushwick Book Club on our show today. So this is a special show for the LA Bushwick Book Club, because the Brooklyn Book Club and the founder of all the book clubs is here with us today. And she can tell you which Kurt Vonnegut they are doing in February. But today it's Dune. And I don't want to talk too much because I just really don't. I don't have a lot to say. I just want to say congratulations to everybody for being here, watching us, making it into 2021. And, you know, it was a great 5-6 days where we all filmed. And then, but here we're back. I think we're live. Someone just asked, are we live? I mean, it says I'm live, so I've been talking away. I never quite know how to, somebody else said yes. I'm gonna go with yes, we are live. Okay, so I'm gonna talk no more, because now I know it's been confirmed that we are live in the universe, and we are going to now sing songs, play songs, some boops and bobbles, some all kinds of things are going on tonight, inspired by the interstellar novel, Dune by Frank Herbert. And the first performer that we have is Justine Kragen. Justine, you are on.
Hi, I'm really happy we had an extra week to put this together, because I always wait to the last minute. And so I had waited till the last minute last week when we postponed it and hadn't started the book yet at that point. So then I said to myself, well, maybe I should read this book right now. So I actually read the whole book and put this song together yesterday and today. And it was really a great book, and I'm really glad I read it. All right, and here we go. certain that your own morality can withstand iniquity? Reflections in the game, reverberating your name so plainly. In 1,000 years, will we be free of these fears? Are you human? Do you know the ways of old? Have you seen what is foretold?
Yay! Justine Kragen, everybody. That was gorgeous. This is such a great book for the beginning of a new year. I think it's kind of dark though too. I mean, like, your song illuminated that for me again. That was really beautiful. The fabric of your mind, kind of. It's an interesting book because they have the whole spice thing, and they go into their brains to do things, but then it's all about this universe on the outside.
It's really interesting because it's like a mixture of a lot of cynicism and mysticism. There's like a planting of religious things in advance, sort of like, um, you know, not really religious, but just sort of planting it there. And then there are things that are mystical at the same time. So I thought it was a really interesting combination.
Yeah, he's got his if you even just Wikipedia him, I'm not sure who's being seen right now, but if you Wikipedia him, he's really interesting to like read about how he got to writing Dune. It started out as two different stories, and then he put it together as a bigger one. But just like his involvement with ecology, and he was doing something with dune, like sand. He was working on some project with big dunes of sand and the way the winds pushed them, and then he got into different religions, and so his background is really interesting too to read about. Thank you so much for
Thank
playing
you.
your song, and we will repost it for anybody who missed the live version. So let me see here. Next we have Tim Bartlett, and he always does some really fun stuff with machine computer things. He's like a strange robot man. All right, here you go. Tim Bartlett, you are on. Wait, I can't hear you right now, so can't hear you yet. I can't, at least. Maybe I'm the only one. Tim, I can't hear your sound. Can you hear me? Tim.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Tim. I thought he could hear me saying that. Wait, is he playing yet? Don't play yet. Can you hear me? Nod your head twice if you can hear me. So we can't hear you. We'll give him a minute there. I'll come back on and just talk a bunch of stuff. What's happening here? So that was Tim, and he's fixing his machine of sound. Who is it? Anybody want to pop on it? Oh, there, he's back. He's back. I still can't hear him. So just gonna make interesting faces in the camera. So one of the things I did read about Frank Herbert is he specifically left out machines. And then my husband, who's a huge Dune fan. Okay, try it again, Tim, you're
Yes.
there? Oh, we can hear him.
Okay.
I'll wax on about what I learned about Frank later.
Sorry
The
about that.
big
Yeah, I've got a lot of
spotlighted then.
machines here, and I was talking about how at first there were some lines about machines, and I sort of gravitated towards that. But then there were other parts that I gravitated towards more in the book um, with these machines, which we'll see if they work from this point on. Um, but Paul has visions. He can see into the future. He has visions of different branches of the future of what might be. He wasn't sure whether it's what will be or what might be. And there are times when he sees the present, and he's not. He sort of jumps around in time with what he can see. So he gets a handle on his ability to see everything. And then at one point, he just sort of can see everything throughout time. So I have a couple of machines here. Speaking of machines. Which can manipulate time. So there was one passage which I thought was, which I liked, which was, it was as though he rode within the wave of time, sometimes in its trough, sometimes on a crest, and all around him, the other waves lifted and fell, revealing and then hiding what they bore on their surface. So it was as though he rode within the wave of time.
Yay!
Bartlett, everyone. It's funny. There's so many similarities in sound to how we think of space and we think of like underwater. There were some, to me, there was some like whale dolphin things going on there, but it also in the David Lynch version of the movie, that I'm not going to remember the names of the characters. I need like my husband right on call here to tell me everything about the book, because he can tell me everything about the book. But there's like the fish-like thing. It's really creepy, and it's the all-knowing. They took too much of the spice, and they're like floating through, and they look like fish, but they like float into space. And if you haven't seen the movie, it's going to be extremely hard to describe because it's David Lynch, but you should watch the movie. Don't let your 8-year-old watch the movie, because we got 20 minutes in and then I remembered how horribly inappropriate it is for an 8-year-old. What are they called?
Who?
The fish-like things in the David Lynch movie.
The Guild Navigators.
Guild Navigators. But they saw them as like almost ocean creatures as well. But your sounds reminded me of both. That was great. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, Susan Hwang is our next performer, and she's also the founder. I've said that probably enough times that she's now like, okay, we got it. I'm the founder. All right, I am spotlighting you now, Susan.
Hi, that was so amazing just to hear those few pieces. Like just those two were so great. I loved Justine's like the dark and beauty, and I loved her chord choices. And then Tim, addressing time, and time is so funny for all of us now, right? In the quarantine time, what is time? I don't know. I can never remember like what day of the week it is. That's like a thing that we're all going through. And at the same time, there are so many other different kinds of connections that I'm having with this book. I mean, Bushwick Book Club in Brooklyn did this book, I think it was 2011 or 2012 when we did this book. And then we also did David Lynch's book, Catching the Big Fish, I think something like that. It was about his life and also about transcendental meditation. And then, I just got this book. It's Alejandro Jodorowsky, his book about tarot. And, he's related too, because I didn't know he was the film director, but he was the one originally set to make Dune, and then I think he was hard to work with, and they got David Lynch. But so he's connected too. So that's all interesting to me. Anyway, thank you for this opportunity, to share my song. This is about Paul. What's wrong with Paul? Nothing's wrong at all. He's good looking and he's smart. He passed his test like the ganja bar without crying or falling apart. He never lacks in grace and poise. Even the weird still suit seems wearable. His psychic powers can cut through the noise, even though it gives him a purpose that's terrible. He'll never let conversation go flat. He knows just what to say. Never a go or why'd I do that? It's not the Bene Gesserit way. Will he survive the storm? Will he seal his fate? Will he come back from the LSD coma? Well, of course he will, and his hair will look great with not a trace of that feminine aroma. What's wrong with Paul? It's nothing's wrong at all. He'll never feel stupid, embarrassed, or ashamed. What's wrong with Paul? It's nothing's wrong at all. Sure, I'm jealous, but I just can't relate. I'm jealous, sure, I'm not gonna try. It must be cool to be psychic, directing your fate. I guess, after all, he is the Messiah. Not like I don't like him, I just can't relate, I'm gonna try something. What's wrong with Paul? It's nothing's wrong at all. What's wrong with Paul? It's nothing's wrong at all. What's wrong with Paul? It's nothing's wrong at all. What's wrong with Paul? It's nothing's wrong at all. I just can't relate. 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 can't relate, just 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 can't relate. That's all I have.
That was so awesome. Wow.
What's wrong with Paul?
Guys.
Thank you. I mean, everybody's takes, it's such a refreshing take on it because it's so easy to go so dark with this one, which I did, which I'm playing next, and it's dark. But also, I watched the movie, so I have to admit, I read the book years ago, and I could not bring myself to reread it for some reason. So I watched the movie, and at the end of the movie, I mean, I know there's some stuff that's different from the book, but I had this moment where I was like, I don't know if I like Paul. I actually was like, he's supposed to be
He
a
just
great
never
guy,
does
right?
anything wrong. He never, doubts or second guesses. He's like, he's right on.
But you know what's interesting? So what I kind of was inspired by was reading these Wikipedias, because I started freaking out yesterday when I'd already given up like another month and then another week, and then I still hadn't read the book or written my song, which I started today. So bear with me when I play it. But I read this Wikipedia, and there was a quote that Frank Herbert had said. And he said, the bottom line of the Dune trilogy is beware of heroes. Much better to rely on your own judgment and your own mistakes. And I don't know when I watched the movie if I had that. Well, because I did read like all three of the first books. And then after the Children Messiah, whatever the children one is, it took a different storyline and I got bored. But it's kind of, they become confusing, these messiahs. Like, what are they exactly? And so when I watched the movie, I don't know if I had that in mind, but definitely I was like, I don't know, why is he so up on himself? Like at one point he like has this spice, and then he starts to realize he's fulfilling these prophecies, and he's like, I am the Messiah. Like, he just has this moment where he's like, I am the person, and then he rides the worm. And it's like, and it's this thing of like, does the boldness of his realizing, I don't know, it just became a bigger question. Like, are we supposed to like this lead character?
That's a good question.
Yeah, when I first read it, I was assuming, he's like, he's supposed to be perfect and he's awesome, and so I loved your song. It kind of fit in with what I was thinking. So I also kind of wrote about Paul, but I took a darker turn, and we'll see. This song might sound entirely different than I meant it to be, because I probably can't play it. But also, I started writing it in the morning, and my voice was incredibly low. And I went to sing it like an hour ago, and I was like, oh, I'm not a low alto or contralto or whatever that would be. My mic is messing with me. Okay, let me can everybody hear that little bit of reverb? Then I know I've got the right stuff plugged in. Okay, good to go. All right, let's see what happens with this. See if I can sing way down here. There we go. Beware of the moon, the hero's messiah. Bewitched in the voice, the prophetic outlier. One taste, one bite, the brains in flight. Taste of the water, the tears and the sweat, the birth of a daughter. One taste, one bite, the brains in flight. A waking dream unfolds. From all the tales we've told, play your own hero, let the sleeper awake. A waking dream unfolds. From all the tales we've told, play your own hero, the sleeper awakes. One taste, one bite, the brains in flight. Beware of the moon, the hero's messiah. Definitely needed a morning voice for the bottom part.
Awesome.
That was great. Beautiful.
All right. Thank you, thank you. Next, we have William Belote.
Let me do my screen share thing here, which I think makes it work.
There we go. Look at that studio behind him. All right.
All right. Wow. What an eclectic group. This is amazing. I just love everything everybody has brought. Stacy, it's hard to believe that song was like a last minute thing. It was amazing. This is a crazy book. It covers so many subjects, as you know. And I actually tried to include a number of them. And I don't know why you guys are dissing Paul. I mean, what about worker rights and this kind of stuff? You know, to me, he's like a hero to the working person. But anyway, we'll have that discussion another time. So let me just plunge into it here. Water of life will kill you unless you remain unborn. Timeless in pure potential, nothing to fear or mourn. The water of life will kill you, a taste you can't resist. The drama unfolds again and again, traveling with a twist. Space is unfolding, time is remolding. Here we are, here we are, here we are. Space is unfolding, time is remolding. Here we are, here we are. Water of life will kill you, as thought assumes form and power. Shapes will emerge from dreams long submerged on planets that long for flowers. The water of life will kill you, yet rain restores our hope. Living in peace, the violence must cease as we repair what's broke. Space is unfolding, time is remolding. Here we are, here we are, here we are. Space is unfolding, time is remolding. Here we are, here we are. It is what it is, till it is nevermore. Living alone as the stars recede, making a life out of rock, sand, and grubs, expanding the mind, enlarging the creed. Water of life will kill you, nothing to do but drink. So someday I suppose we'll focus on those who refuse to fear what they think. Space is unfolding, time is remolding. Here we are, here we are, here we are. Space is unfolding, time is remolding. Here we are, here we are. The water of life will kill you, so cough until you can't. The ride is sure to thrill you. The secret is learn to chant.
Yes. That chorus is going to be stuck in my head.
Oh.
Space is unfolding. Time or yes,
Super catchy.
yeah, extremely catchy. The soundtrack in the David Lynch film is well, it's Toto, but I guess Brian Eno does one of the songs, so this would have fit right in, like, and you had the keyboard like whammy bar going. Like, I haven't had one of those forever. I remember like.
They're
I
fun.
don't want to say how many years ago trying to make it sound exactly like an electric guitar. I mean, I'm sure it's made a lot of progress, but that was awesome.
Cool.
I love all these songs, you guys. Thank you, William.
Thank you.
Okay, so up next we have Molly White. And Molly?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I hear an echo. Is it still there? No. Okay, it's gone. Cool. Thank you for all your amazing songs. Every time I participate in the Bushwick Book Club, I'm so inspired to just like, oh my God, next time I'm going to try to go in that other direction or something. It's so great to hear everybody's styles. That reference, Susan, to Paul doing LSD was hilarious. I kind of probably thought that in the back of my mind, but it all came together in your song. I wrote from Cheney's perspective. I think that's how you say her name, Cheney. She is the mistress of Paul, and I kind of just went on the idea that I wanted to write a love song anyway. So this is a little love song from Cheney to Paul, and she is saying how much she loves him, and at the same time I think she has some input on what he's doing. All I want is to connect to you, reach out to you, be right next to you. All I want is just to be with you. It's all I really wanna do. I will push the sand into the sea. I will tame the beast and let it go free. I will be for you if you are for me. All I want is to connect to you, reach out to you, be right next to you. All I want is just to be with you. It's all I really wanna do. I will be your eyes when you are asleep. I will let you guide me into the deep. I will be your armor that you wanna keep. You're so far away into infinite space. The stars are closer than your eyes. Here we are alone again, another time, another space. I don't mean to criticize. You're taking on too much, holding all of it at once. You know the sacrifice. It's coming down to this, there are places that I miss. Be careful when you compromise. Just be wise. All I want is to connect to you, reach out to you, be right next to you. All I want is just to be with you. It's all I really wanna do, be with you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Holly White, thank you. That's some beautiful chord changes. I really
you.
love that song. We were doing a sound check, and I only got to hear the first part of it, but it's so pretty. And that's that relationship between, I say Chani, I don't know if it's Chani. I think my husband says Chani, so it's probably Chani. But that I'm curious to see what that relationship looks like in the new movie, because it goes through. I think he marries someone else, but then his two children in the follow-up books are from Chani. I could be wrong. I will hear about it later if I am, but I think that I'm right. So I think
Cool.
it's sort of like his mother, how they never married because they weren't supposed to. They weren't really of the same houses, and he calls her his concubine, and then
Right.
right before he
And then, yeah, at the end of the book, he kind of like says how great the concubines are, or I guess the mother's like, see, concubines are great, you know, like we rule the roost. It was the weirdest ending from my point of view. Like, okay, whatever.
That was a strange, and it was like, this is the end now?
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, there's more books. So
Yeah.
I can
I
see
think
what
that,
happens
I don't
next.
know. He must have obviously had that like plan. He did say in all this stuff I read instead of reading the book that he wanted people to read the book multiple times because he layered it so much that he hoped people would kind of go, huh, and reread it and pick a different way to look at it. That's what I read.
I was reading it, a digital version of it while I was reading it, and then I noticed at the very end there was a glossary. But I didn't know there was a glossary until I had read the whole thing, and I was like, "Oh, this would be a good reason to have an actual book." Because it would have been, really great to look up some of those words at the time.
Oh yeah, it's hard on the Kindle to do stuff like that. The ebook.
I had no idea.
I did the audiobook and they kept calling her Cheney.
Really?
Oh really? So maybe
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my husband.
I don't know.
He's got it wrong. Well, so we have one more performer. Before, just in case you found us on Facebook and you're like, what is even happening right now? We are a book club. We read a book or a couple chapters in the book or the cover or the footnotes, or we watch the movie, or we call the author directly and ask for a recap, or whatever we need to do to be inspired by the book to write a song that is inspired by the book. That's kind of the only rule. It should be inspired by the book. So that's what we do. And today's was Dune by Frank Herbert. And next month it will be Dead-Eye Dick by Kurt Vonnegut. And before we have the last performer and everybody runs away, I do have a Venmo that if you have been enjoying the show, well, there's also a picture here that you can enjoy. But if you have been enjoying the show and you feel like just throwing money somewhere, we have a website, and the Restream and the Zoom, they all cost money, and this just goes towards that. Normally it goes to our sound guy, but since that's all of us, then this just goes towards the upkeep of those other things. So I'll do it one more time, and then we are going to have our last but not least performer, Gunnar Larrson, and he is on.
Hello. That's actually tough to be last in the row, I realize, after all these songs, because I have the habit to write it on the day of the performance. So I hope I get it still all together with all the other melodies floating around now that I just heard. But yeah, I was inspired and it kind of brought me onto the subject of leadership, messianism, self-absorption perhaps, or whatnot. So it's kind of like a conglomerate anymore. You'll hear it. Here you go. Was there ever any stone in your path? Do you fathom what it takes to be tough? Are you serious with all your intent? Will you waver when the going gets rough? Every time I look at you makes me wonder who you are. What's really going on in your mind, and why you acting like you are? So you think you are special, you are the one who's got everything under the sun. You'll be the savior of spirit and soul. You should be worshipped, now that is the goal. Do you turn around and toss in your sleep? Do you like to cheer a crowd in your dreams? Have you ever asked yourself what it takes? Can you figure that it ain't what it seems? Every time I look at you makes me wonder who you are. What's really going on in your mind, and why you're acting like you are? So you think you are special, you are the one who's got everything under the sun. You'll be the savior of spirit and soul. You should be worshipped, now that is the goal.
was. But that was
Beautiful.
beautiful. That was a beautiful melody. I mean,
Yeah.
we
Really
might
cool.
have thrown it together in the last minute, but it was really gorgeous song.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It is. I do get though when you wait to the last minute and then you listen to everybody's song, you're kind of like,
Yeah, it's kind of like
song
yeah, you got
sounds
also
hard.
so
It's
many
always
other
hard
great
with a new
hooks stuck in your ears. Then
Yeah.
It's almost like when you try to remember a song when they're, like you're in a grocery store or something, you're like, the song that goes like, but then there's another song playing and you can't for the life of you like figure out the melody of the song you're talking about.
right.
Thank you so much, everybody. This season, this time of year is difficult to pull it together, and I threw a big one at us. So I'm pretty proud that there are 7 of us on here right now with something to share in 2021 after reading a 600-page book or watching the movie.
It was great to have this book to read this week. It was a really welcome distraction.
Okay, good. That's nice when that works out that way.
Yeah.
But so I'm going to say goodbye. These are our songwriters. If you wish to join us, just send me an email at labushwickbookclub@gmail.com.